True Story Media.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
This podcast contains adult themes and language, and some of the things that we discuss may be disturbing to some listeners. In this podcast, we discuss sexual assault, torture, race, and murder. Listener discretion is advised. Please take care of yourself.
Welcome to Fruit Loops, Buiti Binafi, and Bienvenidos Bitches. Thank you so much for listening. Fruit Loops is a true crime, history, and comedy podcast that delves into the often overlooked stories of serial killers of color and, more importantly, the victims. We take deep dives into the lives and crimes of these killers worldwide, while also examining the history, culture, and social factors that may have influenced their actions. And the reason that we cover these crimes is because they often go unnoticed by the public. And why is that? Because in the simplest of terms, the news is racist. Allegedly.
And we are Wendy and Beth. She's Wendy, a Black Latinx woman, and I'm Beth, and I just happen to be white. That's just a little piece of who we are. Another piece is that although we are both fascinated by true crime, really fascinated by true crime, and we know a lot about it, keep in mind that we are not journalists, investigators, or psychologists, and the opinions expressed in this podcast are just that, our opinions.
What are we talking about today, Beth?
We are talking about Elton Manning Jackson, also known as the Hampton Roads Killer. And if you haven't heard about him, it's not a surprise. We hadn't either.
Nope.
And neither has practically anybody else.
No, yeah. I mean, this guy was around. There was news cameras. There was newspapers, but not much report about him.
No, not nationally anyway. Apparently there was some coverage in the area, but not nationally, which is surprising because he killed 12 men.
Yeah, that's a dozen people.
Yeah, it's a dozen people. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
I just have to interject here. Okay. I am in Garage Studios and I'm drinking my wine with ice cubes in it because it's so effing hot. So if you hear rattling, it's my ice wine. Anyway.
So he was a lust strangler of gay men, active between 1987 and 1996. So what's that, 9 years? Yeah, 9 years. In the Hampton Roads metropolitan area in Virginia. This area is notable as a port of entry and as the headquarters of the Navy's Atlantic Fleet. It has a very large concentration of military personnel, and on weekends, Norfolk and Portsmouth are swarmed with young servicemen. Strip joints and go-go clubs are numerous, and cheap motels advertise military discounts.
You know what's interesting? This just popped into my head. There's a neighborhood in San Francisco called the Castro, and the Castro started out as a place where the Navy would dump their gay servicemen to live and hang out. So the Castro is very gay, but it started out as a sort of getaway for military gay men. Yeah, so that just popped into my head after you shared that little bit of the town, the area, the setting where it is taking place. So anywho's, downtown bars and clubs line one end of Granby Street, and in Portsmouth, men cruise for sex and or drugs in a 2-block area of a neighborhood called Truxton. As far as the police can tell, all of the victims were last seen in or were known to frequent one of these neighborhoods. Their lifestyles, and Jackson's, tended to revolve around late night clubs and hangouts in the downtown and Ocean View areas of Norfolk and the Truxton area of Portsmouth. So let's get
Here's
into
your favorite part.
This is my favorite part. I love stats. Let's see. So, interestingly enough, Jackson was only charged with one murder. That was the death of Andrew, aka Drew Smith, of Portsmouth. His body was found in 1996 when police suspected him and had to toss out their preconceived notions of the type of killer they were looking for, namely a white loner of high intelligence with a decent job who probably kept souvenirs or trophies. So the cops was racist. But anyway, this dude was connected to 12 murders. At the time, court documents suggested DNA and witness testimony linked the suspect to 6 of the 12 victims, and another FBI report citing FBI documents and police interview identified Jackson as the suspect in 12 killings. All of the victims were men, and many were gay. And the only reason why I say many is because some of them were out and some of them were not. Some were hustlers, others were drifters. All were last seen near these bars in Norfolk and Portsmouth, like we said before. 10 of them were strangled. 2 of the bodies were too decomposed to determine their true cause of death. And all but 1 were found naked and dumped outside. But they were all of different races, which threw the police off because they were like, this is crazy. There's no way somebody would kill somebody outside of their race. And at the time, there were believed to be very few known serial killers in the United States. And there's an article I was reading today. There's like a bar graph. And it shows serial killers throughout history, starting, I think, at 1900. And it's like maybe 10 a decade until you get to the late 70s and 80s. And it's like, zoom!
They just exploded, huh?
Shoots up, yeah.
But I wonder if some of that is they just didn't link the murders, so they didn't know.
I think that's part of it. The way we take statistics were like people of color weren't even in the pool of people surveyed at the time. So I think that has a lot to look at it. The people who are included in the data pool might have become more diverse. Another interesting thing, I was watching this Netflix documentary a few years ago called Freakonomics, and they talked about crime in the United States after Roe v. Wade. And before Roe v. Wade, crime looked different. And about 30 years after Roe v. Wade, so that would have been like 2000, 2003, when those pregnancies that
were not carried to term.
Were not carried to term. Yeah. Basically, what they were pointing to is that there was less unwanted children, which means they were better cared for, and these people were less likely to become criminals. So crime rates were less. And so I thought maybe that had something to do.
I heard about that. That's pretty interesting.
So anywho, like I said, there were believed to be at the time very few known serial killers in the United States. I don't think that's true anymore. And the FBI grouped serial killers into 2 categories, organized and disorganized. And the profile pegged the Southampton Road serial killer as organized. And there's no way a Black person could have done that.
We'll get into that later. I have something to say about that.
So we have established we did not know about this case. And why could that be? Well, I have two reasons
Possible reasons.
Well, one is the R word, racism. And the second is homosexuality. And these are things that people are uncomfortable talking about. The media is uncomfortable talking about it. I think the media is inherently I hate to say it, but racist, because we've talked about in other episodes how they just love stories about white women and the female white victims,
and especially if they're blonde and blue-eyed and
oh my god,
pretty too. They need to be pretty.
Yes, and young, yeah.
And young, yeah. Unless they're really old, and then it's sad.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
But, I don't either. Because we all gotta be old.
Yeah. So these crimes are underreported. And then homosexuality is also something that makes people uncomfortable. And the thing that's unfortunate is the victims aren't named. And so people forget that just because you're a person of a different race or your sexual orientation is different, these people still matter.
Yeah, and it was really hard to get information about these victims. I got some information, but man, it was hard to dig that stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, we both spent quite a bit of time looking for, and we've met over the course of the past week to swap
Talk
notes
about it.
yeah.
And yeah.
And we're like, oh, crap, we can't.
This is
find
really
it.
hard. Yeah.
It's frustrating. And I'm just like thinking of the victims and their families, like, gosh, I wish they knew that we were doing a podcast about them so they could tell us all about these people.
Yeah. And I also wanted to mention that when we go through the timeline and talk about the victims, some of them, we just have so little information about it. It's not because we don't care. It's because we just couldn't find anything else about them.
Yes, but we really did try. So shout out to the victims and their families. But this is what we've come up with. So let's see. Oh, Kirk Reed. He was the editor-in-chief of Our Own Community Press. It's a monthly gay newspaper in Norfolk, Virginia. And he told the New York Times that Elton Jackson is not an Einstein serial killer. And I thought that was shady.
Yeah.
Mr. Reed said if the victims of these crimes were white, suburban teenagers who were church-going folk, this thing would have been wrapped up a long time ago. And I think that's probably true.
I can't disagree with that. Yeah. So activists who track violent crimes against gay men and lesbians acknowledge some police departments, even the FBI, are now beginning to reach out to the gay community to build trust and understanding. That's now.
2018?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the local level, many of us have seen day and night changes in the last 5 to 10 years, says Jeffrey Montgomery, a spokesman for the Michigan Anti-Violence Project. In Detroit, for example, there's been a 180-degree change in the way they handle cases, from very, very, very badly to extremely efficient and good.
Oh, way to go, guys. Here, I'm going to do a round of applause. Other activists, however, remain frustrated and say it still takes pushing to get many officers to take seriously any crimes involving homosexual victims, even homicides. Gay-related cases aren't popular cases, and whether it's ignorance or homophobia, it's a big problem, asserts Bea Hansen. She's the director of client services for the Anti-Violence Project in New York. In some localities, working relationships between police and the gay community have recently been forged, yet other activists remain frustrated. And I have to say that it's not just homosexual victims, it's basically any victim who's not a white, straight person.
Yeah.
And that's
a shame.
Pardon my French, fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, where were we? Oh, yes. Okay, so early life. We tried. It was really difficult to find any information on this guy. All we could find was that he was born in 1956. I found a letter that he wrote to a friend in prison in like 2000 something.
This was after he was in prison for this murder, and he's writing a letter to a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. And he described that he used to live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and he was living in Seattle, and he worked for Prudential Insurance. And I was like, oh my God, serial killers, they're just like us. They have regular insurance, boring ass jobs. As far as we know, he had only one criminal conviction before the serial killings, and it was for solicitation and frequenting a body house in 1987. Does anybody know what a body house is? Oh, there it is. An antiquated name for a brothel. Oh, maybe to do the brothel.
I read body house. I was like, what century do we live? This is the 1800s? He was arrested for frequenting a body house.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
So on July 17th, 1987, a man by the name of Charles Frank Smith, who was referred to as Chucky, he was found slain in a remote section of Chesapeake. He was 18 years old, and he was from Ocean View, Norfolk. He was known to frequent gay hangouts, and according to his mother, he was of Native American and French Canadian descent. Also, according to his mother, he was playful and good-natured. He was found wearing jeans, socks, and sneakers, and he'd been strangled. I think he was the only one found wearing any type of clothing.
Yeah, this sounds like this was the one guy who was found.
The first guy.
July 1988, Joseph Ray, a man in his 30s, his body was found near I-64 and Cavalier Boulevard in Chesapeake, Virginia.
And then in January 1989, Stacy Renault, he was 21, and his body was found near Rockwood Drive in Chesapeake, Virginia.
January 1992, John W. Ross Jr., may have been 36 or 37, we're not exactly sure. His body was found near Government Road in Richmond, Virginia.
August 1992, Billy Lee Dixon, he was 32. He was found in the Isle of Wight County. It was known that he had posed for a gay erotic magazine, but his brother David said that he never discussed his sexual orientation. His brother remembers him as youthful and muscular.
That sounds like a brother who is in denial about who his brother really was.
Yeah. Well, apparently he wasn't out.
Yeah.
So,
that's too bad. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine not being able to fully be who you are?
Yeah.
You know, I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
March 7th, 1993, Reginald Joyner, he was age 32, was found near Greenwood and Holy Neck Roads in Suffolk. DNA taken from blood and semen on the bedding in Jackson's Portsmouth home matched Joyner's DNA. Bruh, you didn't wash your sheets?
From 1993 to 1990.
Come on!
I didn't even realize that, but yeah, that's gross.
So gross. Oh my gosh.
Of course, that's not one of the grossest things he's done, but it's up there.
Yeah, clearly he's maybe washing his sheets wasn't at the top of his priority list.
It's low on the list. Yeah. So June 28th, 1993, a man by the name of Raymond Bostick, who was 27, his body was found in a ditch near Cook's Mill Road near Chesapeake, Virginia. He was an unemployed truck driver from Norfolk, and he was strangled.
So when Bostick's body was found, the cases were finally connected. According to Chucky Smith's mother, no efforts were made to collect murder site evidence until after the seventh victim was found.
Which is Raymond Bostick.
Yeah. According to a Washington Post article, forensic evidence like hairs, fibers, medical data, etc. were either uncollected in earlier cases or inconclusive in later ones. Like, isn't there a protocol?
Wouldn't you collect anything? Like, what the hell?
If I miss one little detail on my boring and my line of work, if I forget the whole building collapses. If I forget something,
or you forget a word in your report.
I forget a word in my report. These dudes couldn't collect murder.
Some damn evidence. Yeah, these are dead bodies. Come on now.
Exactly. Very frustrating.
So, anyway, the detective on the case at the time, Detective Fischetti, said, "We didn't do a very good job comparing murder cases." So he admitted it.
Oh, okay.
And he points out that it wasn't until Bostick's body was discovered that he actually convened a meeting of homicide detectives from Suffolk and Chesapeake. And they sat around talking about it as a group. And once they compared notes, it became obvious, and they all came to the same conclusion. There was a serial killer at work.
Good job, guys. Here's another reason why I think cops should. We just need a different system. Law and ordering and keeping people.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And it's odd to me that these police departments, they don't have like a central system. They don't swap notes very well. It's what?
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, it comes up again and again. It happened in the Baseline Killer case, because the murders happened in different jurisdictions. They didn't connect them because they didn't share information. I think they can be like kind of greedy about their information.
Real petty. Yeah. Real, you police departments are real messy hoes. Each of this murderer's killings have been marked with the same identifying methodology, including strangulation and the discarding of bodies on deserted roadsides. Police believe that the killer must have immobilized his victim somehow because there was no signs of struggles between any of the victims and the strangler. This is significant because some of the victims carried as much as 250 muscular pounds, and they would have fought, leaving at least some traces of their struggles, including perhaps, the murderer's skin under their fingernails. But the absence of any such evidence on the corpses suggested strongly that the killer had found some way to immobilize these victims. And how they were immobilized was unknown. The victims were tested for Rohypnol, that's the date rape drug, or GHB, and they all came back negative.
Yeah, and the victims did have a few similar physical characteristics. The white victims did actually have dark complexions, but their ages ranged from 18 to 38 years old.
Whoa.
And the police believed that the perpetrator was intelligent and organized, capable of making and executing plans in the same class as Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, or Jeffrey Dahmer. They believed that some of the victims were kept by the murderer for a few days. I'm not really sure how they would know that, but anyway, that's what I read. And they also believed that he had substantial strength, like you mentioned, which is indicated by the fact that he was able to snuff out the lives either with his bare hands or with a garrote. And as it turned out, Jackson was 6 feet tall and 230 pounds.
So he's a big dude.
He's a substantial guy, yeah.
Excuse me, may I ask a question?
Sure.
What the hell is a garrote?
Oh, it's, I believe it's when you attach a rope or some kind of a wire or something like that to could be sticks or, something like that.
Oh. Yep, that's what Wikipedia says. Oh, good one, Beth.
I was hoping I'd be able to describe that. I was like, where is it? Where is it in my gray matter Rolodex? Where is it? It's in there somewhere.
Flipping through the pages.
Yep. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay, garrote. All right. So the bodies had been dumped in different jurisdictions, which made it more difficult to link the crimes. Now, I think that's really smart. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish we heard more, because in my my baby true crime studies, because you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, most of them are like narcissists and like talking about their crimes.
Yeah.
And I wish that this guy would, because I have so many questions, Mr. Jackson. This was probably something that the killer considered.
That's what I think, yeah.
Yeah. The area is a few minutes drive from the web of highways connecting all these places. The largest of these highways is Interstate 64, which rings the Norfolk area. Yet just minutes off I-64, there are farmlands and country roads on which you can drive for miles without encountering another human being. Good God. Nobody ever saw anyone dumping a body.
Yeah, but I read that there were some close calls, like somebody would drive past, there was no body, and then they drive past again 15 minutes later and there's a body.
Oh, shit.
So there were some close calls, but I think he was pretty smart about it.
He was a smooth operator.
Yeah, he was. So the police came to the conclusion that the killer is a man who is cunning enough to cover his tracks, strong enough to choke victims of considerable size, and verbally facile enough to seduce his victims into a situation that he can control.
Have you seen a picture of the guy?
Yeah, I think he might have been older.
Yeah, he looked older, but he looked very debonair. He had
I would like to see some pictures of when he was younger.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I found a picture of him online, and he was in like a suit. His hair was cut nice. His edges
I don't think I saw that one. I think the one I saw was his mugshot, and he looked like a sorry ass bitch.
Hang on, let me get the hip hop here. Beth, this is okay. Hang on, hip hop air horn. Hang on. Hip hop air horn. Hip hop air horn. Here we go. She said he looked like a sorry ass bitch. Okay. I love the hip hop air horn. When my kids do something good, I like to bust it out.
Do you? That's awesome.
You got an A on the spelling test? Hang on.
They're going to remember that and with fond memories.
I hope
Remember when mommy would break out the hip hop air horn?
So when they're on the therapist couch in 25 years, they can say the one good thing my mom did do is
she broke out the hip hop air horn.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so sorry, I digress. September 8th, 1993, Robert Neal, he was age 24, was found dead in a remote section of Old State Road in Chesapeake. A Portsmouth resident, he had 2 children, very sad. His estranged girlfriend, the mother of his children, she told police that Neil had a friend named Elton. Jackson told Suffolk police in 1994 that he used to play tennis with Neil and that he let him stay at his house for a short while.
On September 17th, 1994, Garland L. Taylor Jr., 24, was found dead in Suffolk. He was a Portsmouth brick mason whose body was found in a Suffolk ditch on September 17th, 1994. He'd married shortly before he disappeared, and his parents have insisted that he was neither homosexual nor a drug user. Jackson told Suffolk police that he saw Garland 2 weeks before his death and that he had known him for 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, he may have been bisexual. He might have been gay and married a woman and just never came out. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the coolest part about being alive today is that there's a little something for everyone. I don't think that you brought up bisexual, so this is why why this has come to my mind. But bisexual doesn't fit to everybody. Now there's pansexual, which I think is just such a beautiful term because it means you can love
anybody. Yeah.
And I feel for our LGBTQ, forefathers who didn't have the language or the
support,
community,
yeah,
to sort of be out and to be themselves and to identify themselves the way that they wanted to be named. So I just kind of feel for this guy. So that's why I bring that up.
Yeah.
May 1995, Samuel Alif, he was 31 years old, was found at the 4200 block at Rotunda Avenue in Chesapeake.
January 27th, 1996, Jesse James Spencer, he was 30 years old. He was found at the 2300 block of Joliffe Road in Chesapeake. He was last seen leaving a bar called Perry's Lounge. And a woman who worked at a convenience store at one time or another with Jackson said that she saw Spencer getting into Jackson's car the night before his body was found. And another court witness has said that Jackson and Spencer knew each other. So this is where he gets stupid, when he starts killing people that he knows.
Oh, I didn't even think of it like that. Man, good thing we have a true crime OG here. Amen. July 22nd, 1996, the body of Andre Smith, 38, was found at approximately 8:35 a.m., and the medical examiner testified that the victim had been dead at least 18 to 24 hours, but no longer than 48 hours, and the cause of death was ligature strangulation.
So he was the last victim. Jackson was investigated as a suspect as early as 1994 after the body of the 9th victim, I think that was Bostick, was found dumped in a deserted roadway. Suffolk police questioned him 4 times that year in 1994. Jackson was familiar with several of the victims. He'd been questioned, but no evidence was found to warrant bringing charges against him or even making him the focus of the investigation.
Oh boy. Authorities never named Jackson as the serial killer suspect, but also never ruled him out. The FBI had suspected him previously. In fact, a letter to the FBI lab in August 1996 called Jackson the best suspect in its 9 years of investigation.
Yeah.
They investigated this crime for 9 years?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, 9 years.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
So everything changed after Andre Smith's body was found. Detectives learned that Smith had lived with his mother in Truxton. He'd hung out with Garland Taylor Jr., who was victim number 9, at a quick shop in Portsmouth Boulevard. When police canvassed Smith's neighborhood, they learned that Smith was acquainted with Jackson and that Jackson lived on Portsmouth Boulevard within a half mile of Smith. Detectives were also told that around 10 p.m. on July 20th, Smith had left his mother's house intending to borrow money from Jackson so that he could engage the services of a prostitute. It's not clear if Smith saw Jackson at that point.
A friend of Smith's told Whitehurst that at 2:30 the next morning, Smith failed in an attempt to procure the prostitute and set off for Jackson's house once again to borrow money. About 29 hours later, his body was discovered. On July 23rd, a detective went to Jackson's house to question him. Jackson claimed that he did not know Smith and had heard of his death only through the TV news. A background check was initiated, and it was learned that a local credit agency had Jackson's car. On August 22nd, a detective bought the car, apparently to keep it in police custody. Ooh, good move, guys.
Smart.
Yeah.
The one smart move.
The one, un aplauso for the police. At that point, FBI agents were brought in to search the car. In the car's ashtray, they found 6 cigarette butts. On the butts, an FBI forensic examiner found material from which he could extract DNA. It matched Smith's DNA. Oh, okay. Jackson could no longer deny that he knew Smith.
So based on that evidence, detectives then sought warrants to search Jackson's home and his person. They obtained his DNA and found that it matched DNA swabbed from Smith's body. And blood from one of the victims, Reginald Joyner, was found in Jackson's bed, along with the blood of Smith. Jackson was questioned at the police station, confronted with this information, and he finally acknowledged that he'd known Smith. He claimed that he had engaged in intercourse with Smith on the night of July 20th, but he said that he didn't kill him. Yeah.
You see that credibility train going down the tracks? Goodbye.
On May 6, 1997, he was arrested. When his court-appointed attorney, Randolph Stowe, tried to get his bail reduced, this is what I was referring to earlier. This guy, Randolph Stowe, court-appointed attorney, he tried to defend Jackson by basically saying that he couldn't have done it because he's black and stupid.
All right. Okay. Cue the air horn, because this is fuckery at its best and deserves an award. Way to go, Rudolph Stowe!
So what he said was the profile of a serial killer is of an extremely intelligent white man, a Ted Bundy type. Well, my client is certainly not white and has given me no indication of brilliance so far.
Okay, so what we need to do is find this Randolph Stowe and expose him for the racist fuckery that he has.
We'll just send him a badge.
Yes. This is... I just, sometimes I don't understand the things that people say out loud.
I know. In court. He said this in court.
There's people recording this shit. I say ridiculous things all the time, but I am.
You're not an attorney.
I'm not an attorney.
You're not in court. Yeah.
Yeah, like what I say really, I don't think matters that much. But this is somebody's life, and I just can't believe he said that out loud in court and thought that it would help.
Yeah.
My blood's boiling.
That really stuck out to me.
I'm in a hot ass garage. I literally am boiling on the inside and out. Okay, thank you, Randolph Stowe. So Jackson was 43 years old when the trial started in August 1998. And he was only tried for Andre Smith's murder. According to law enforcement officials, evidence needed to convict Jackson of the previous murders was insufficient. So, blood from another victim killed in 1993 was found in Jackson's bed, however, and he is known to have had contact with some of the other victims. 3 persons testified at Jackson's trial, each saying that he attempted to choke them following sexual encounters. Here's where it gets juicy.
Yes, it does. Here we go. So, Willie C. Swimpson Jr. testified that he lived with Jackson during the summer of 1995. Swimpson testified he engaged in sexual relations with Jackson for money during that time. On one occasion, Jackson took Swimpson to a secluded area, and Swimpson agreed to allow Jackson to put lotion between his legs while having sex with him. Swimpson glanced around while he waited for Jackson to retrieve the lotion and noticed Jackson approaching him from behind with a strap in his hand. Swimpson thought Jackson was going to put the strap around his head and twist it. Swimpson escaped through the woods on foot. Good for you. Jackson testified Swimpson fabricated this story because their consensual sexual relationship had ended on bad terms after he caught Swimpson stealing from him.
I just have to say that so this dude is like, yeah, I was there and we totally hooked up, but I wasn't trying to strangle him.
Yeah.
You know? So what are you trying to tell us?
Yeah, why were you creeping behind him?
What were you doing, bruh? So Tommy Anderson, another witness, testified that he and Jackson agreed to exchange sex for money in May of 1995. Anderson testified he went to Jackson's house, took off his clothes, laid on the bed. Anderson agreed to let Jackson rub lotion between his closed legs. Again, this must be his
story.
MO.
That's his MO. Yeah, this is how we know how you committed the murders.
Yes. At this point, Jackson became rough and held Anderson down by placing his forearm on the back of Anderson's neck. But he stopped when Anderson threatened to scream. Good for you. Then Jackson agreed to drive Anderson to his next destination, but while in the car, he hit Anderson in the face really hard. Jackson threatened to kill Anderson if he tried to escape. Jackson drove Anderson to the approximate area where Andre Smith's body was found. He ordered Anderson to get out and place his hands on the vehicle. With his hands on the vehicle, Anderson turned and saw Jackson approaching him from behind with a strap in his hand. Anderson kicked Jackson and fled the area. During his testimony, Jackson denied ever having a sexual encounter with Anderson.
I'm assuming that Jackson testified?
Yes, he testified during the trial as a witness.
Gosh, I didn't even read about that.
Yeah, I found his testimony in there's some court documents.
Oh, wow.
Jackson tried to appeal his murder charge. So that's why I found this testimony.
Okay, I'm going to have to look at that. We'll have to link it so everybody can look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'll be a looking party.
All right. So the next witness, Kevin Benton, he testified about a sexual encounter he had with Jackson in the early morning hours of December 11th, 1996. Jackson picked Benton up in the Ocean View area of Norfolk, and Benton testified that they went to Jackson's house. Once they arrived at Jackson's house, Benton, who was high on crack cocaine, went into the bedroom with Jackson. Jackson promised to give Benton $75 if he would allow Jackson to tie his hands behind his back and massage him. So Benton stripped to his boxer shorts and lay on his stomach on the bed while Jackson tied his hands behind his back with a necktie. After a few moments, during which Jackson was out of Benton's sight, Benton noticed Jackson approaching him from behind. Jackson tried to lift a leather strap over Benton's head. This sounds familiar. Benton turned away, kicked Jackson, and then it says later that morning, Jackson paid Benton $19 and some change. So I guess he didn't run away. He paid him $19 and some change. Jackson then drove Benton to a meeting with Benton's probation officer.
Yeah, okay.
Jackson testified he engaged in consensual sex with Benton, but denied any acts of violence.
This guy
was very lucky, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing in between where he kicked him away and untied the necktie. And then Jackson paid him $19 and some change.
Yeah, so maybe his serial killer button turned off.
Yeah, maybe. He was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only thing that I can think of is maybe he didn't need to do it.
Yeah, or I don't know. But yeah, there's a gap in there. Like, what?
Yeah, for sure. So, Brother Benton is alive. Amen? Mm-hmm. Now, Arnold Smith, a friend of the victim, Andre Smith, testified over Jackson's objection that between 2:30 a.m. and 3 a.m. on July 21st, 1996, the victim said he was going to go past Jackson's house to get some money. Kim Nerney also testified without objection that around 2:30 a.m. on that same day, July 21st, the victim told her he was leaving to go get some money and would be back in 15 minutes. Nerney waited for the victim, but he never returned. Jackson said he never knew the victim, but later he did say that they had consensual sex and that he gave Andre Smith $20 and that Smith left around 10 p.m. But obviously that was a big fat lie.
So, on August 21st, 1998, a jury found Jackson guilty of the first-degree murder of Smith. Circuit Judge James A. Kales Jr. accepted the jury's recommendation of the maximum sentence of life in prison. He said that the jury obviously took into consideration the violent nature of this crime, the lack of any degree of humanity in this crime, and the lack of remorse on his part.
So jurors were never told during the Jackson trial that he was also a suspect in the previous murders. After having had sex with Andre Smith and strangling him, Jackson is said to have dumped the victim's nude body near a dirt road in Chesapeake, Virginia, where most of the other bodies similarly positioned were found.
In March 1997, Chief Richard Justice, which, how do you like that name? Richard Justice.
Yeah. Well, I hope he's not one of those racist dirty cops.
Yeah, true. Let's hope he's all for justice.
Yeah.
So Chief Richard Justice of the Chesapeake Police Department said the Hampton Roads murders were solved.
Yay.
But many are still considered cold case homicides and are actually still listed on the Chesapeake Police Department website.
Oh, interesting.
Andrew Smith, or Andre, as he liked to be called, his body was the last to be discovered. There have been no other similar slayings since Jackson's arrest in May 1997.
It's your league to dominate in EA Sports Madden NFL 27. Powered by the all-new Persona engine, you can build your franchise the way you want. And to really live your entire football journey, get the MVP Bundle. It comes with access to College Football 27, Madden NFL 27, plus Deluxe Edition rewards in both games. From campus legend to NFL superstar, make your rise with the MVP Bundle. Learn more at EA.com. Rated E for everyone with mild lyrics, user interact, and in-game purchases includes random items.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Where are they now? Well, serving a life sentence. Jackson's attorneys said that they were disappointed in the verdict, and Jackson still maintains his innocence. An appeal was filed in 2000. Jackson alleged that the trial court erred in allowing 3 witnesses to testify regarding their sexual encounters with him, overruling his motion to exclude a portion of the statement he made to police regarding his sexual encounter with Kevin Benton, and allowing a witness to testify about the statement Andre Smith made to that witness. But the court affirmed the judgment and the appeal was dismissed. Girl, bye. What made him snap? What
I have no idea.
Wacky, tacky murder crimes. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, we
know so little. We know so little about him that, yeah, it's hard to say. We don't know anything about his early family life. I looked. The only thing I found was in that same bond hearing with that wonderful court-appointed attorney, Randolph Stowe.
Hey, Brother Stowe. Brother Stowe, cue the, every time we say his name, I got to do the hip-hop air horn. I am sorry, Brother Stowe. Brother Stowe.
So he described Jackson as a scared middle-aged man who was unemployed and devoted to caring for his elderly mother and unlikely to flee. So according to Stowe, he was living with his elderly mother and was unemployed, but that's the only thing I could find.
Wow, shout out to you for finding that bit of information. I could not find a damn thing. And
I would really like to know more about his early life.
Me too. So I guess we can just sort of speculate here, give our personal theories about why he snapped. I think when the police first came to question him and he said something like, I'm a Black gay man. What do you expect? I'm not just going to be out here admitting that I'm hanging out with these people who are turning up dead. And part of me feels like he was out, right? He was already, people obviously knew he was gay.
Right.
He was clearly Black. But I feel like maybe he was not happy with the kind of person that he was. I mean, if you're killing other gay dudes, you must see something in them that you hate. That's where my mind is going with why he What motivated his crimes?
Yeah, because heterosexual serial killers who kill women, generally it's agreed that they hate women.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could be onto something. He's trying to kill something in himself.
Yeah. But if we knew, it would just be so nice to know more about.
It would be really good to know more about that. Yeah.
And he's still alive. So maybe he'll do like a Dateline episode or, maybe he'll release a book or something, There's still time.
There's still time. So experts in studying the habits of serial killers, as we mentioned earlier, they were pretty puzzled over the fact that the victims were both white and black, which seemed at odds with the notion that serial killers seek out a single type of victim. Although, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the white victims were dark complected. So who knows? I don't know. 7 of the victims were white and 5 were black. And another article that I read suggested that the victims were chosen not based on race or anything like that, but on lifestyle. These men were mostly transient, meaning that they didn't live in one place for long periods of time. They moved from place to place, and they may have been chosen because Jackson didn't think anyone would miss them. Many of the victims are still considered cold case homicides and are still listed on the Chesapeake Police Department website. That's where I got some of the information about the victims.
Oh.
Yeah. I can only assume that that's because Jackson was only tried for the one murder for Andre Smith, but they've all been linked. However, nobody has been tried for the 11 earlier murders, so they still officially remain cold.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Also, I've never been to that area, so I was Google mapping it, and I found that there's an area near Chesapeake called Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge.
Get your tickets today. Doesn't it sound like fun?
Great Dismal Swamp. It seems like that would have been a better place to dump the bodies.
Yeah.
In any case, as far as I could tell, looking at the Google map, there is a lot of water in that area where he could have dumped the bodies if he didn't want them to be found. It's my suspicion that he wanted the bodies to be found.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why, but there's a lot of places he could have dumped those bodies, but he didn't. He dumped them in ditches on the roadside so they would be found.
Wanted them to be found? That is a hot take alert.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, he got some kind of thrill out of that. And lastly, something that I think is really sad that I read, the first victim, Charles Frank Smith, who liked to be called Chucky. His mother, she was upset when Versace was murdered and how much attention it got. She said that all of the victims were seen as expendable. She said that they labeled them as gays and druggies, so nobody cared. And the reason the police don't want to deal with my son's case is that they don't care about someone they think is gay or a druggie. Also, many of the murdered young men were black. And what's the difference between my son's case and Versace's? Money and notoriety. That's all. And Chucky's mom turned to advocacy after he was killed. She became an advocate for the gay community and also, more pointedly, the advocacy of murdered gays and lesbians.
Oh, I think that is fantastic. If there's any, good that
comes out of silver lining.
Terrible situations. Yeah, silver lining. That shout out to that to Chucky's mom for her work.
Yeah.
To be honest, my understanding is that I'm thinking of trans people in particular, but LGBTQ also, that when they are victims of crimes, they're underreported, they're underinvestigated.
Nobody cares.
And nobody cares. There's very little justice for these people. So it kind of warms my heart a little bit to hear
about Chucky's mom.
That she's doing that. Yeah. Okay, so I like your takeaways. I agree with all of them. I was just thinking that I feel sad for the victims. First of all, we had a really hard time finding the names of the victims.
Yeah. I had to dig really deep to find that information.
Yeah, we had to go to like the dark web where you could buy cocaine and stuff to get their names. It shouldn't be that way.
I wanted to get, and that was just their names. I wanted to get more. I wanted to know more about them.
I know. And that's what's, I think, to me, that's the saddest part of it, is that the victims, literally, they're just erased. Their lives ended and they're just gone.
They're
we
just
don't know
lost.
anything about them. Yeah, they're lost. I mean, they could have been the most spectacular people, but we will never know. We barely know their names.
Yeah.
And so that makes me sad that there wasn't enough attention brought to the victims. Their stories are important. And also, I am pissed that law enforcement and investigators literally excluded somebody like Jackson from being the perpetrator of these crimes in terms of putting him on their suspect list because he was a Black gay dude. That he wasn't capable of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think, come on, wake the fuck up. Anybody is capable of these kinds of things, I think. And I think that if your job is to investigate a crime, is there some sort of box on these police checklists that say Black next? I mean, it just makes me so angry because the crimes the spree could have been ended earlier.
Well, number one, if they gave a shit about the earlier victims, and number two, if they weren't so biased.
Yeah, the bias hurt everybody. It hurt everybody in the community. People lost their lives. And I just wonder what would have happened if there was no bias involved.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Yep.
So that makes me sad and mad. All right, Beth, where can the people find us?
Our website is fruitloopspod.com, and we use Fruit Loops Pod for all of our social media. The footnotes for each episode can be found on our website. Plus, check it out for the different ways that you can support the show. You can also join us on Patreon, where we have hundreds of hours of bonus content. You can also support us by supporting our sponsors, or by giving us a 5-star review.
5 stars only, please.
Also, don't forget to subscribe.
That's right. Now, this is a weekly podcast, and episodes drop on Thursdays. So until next time, look alive, y'all. It's crazy out there.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.